Yo, 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 what up? It is Trust the Profits. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. We have we finally have the Kentucky Derby. We had the full field. We have some BS morning line odds that we'll cover. And we have post positions drawn. All the BS talk is over. We're going all the way in here. We've got Vinny Blonde. What up, Vinny?
What's up?
We got Michael Myers down there on the bottom. What's up, Michael?
Hello, how are you?
Good, man. We're going to go through one at a time and probably skip through a few of these, maybe more than a few, pretty quickly as we can discard as many as possible. But let's do it. Let's just jump right in and we'll hit on the post positions and how they may have been impacted as well. Let's go. Number one, we have Mo Donegal, morning line 10-1, which in all reality, I feel like is one of the better morning lines. I don't think they're very far off on that one. And I'm gonna take a stand here real quick. I think the number one post was not too terrible for him. I think one of the horses that could have handled it okay was probably Mo Donegal, because I don't think he needs to be speared to the front. But I'm gonna lay off of that because I am not a big post position guy. I kind of think a little. I guess I think it's a little less important than most people do. But Vinny, go ahead. Where do you see Mo Donegal? Agree or disagree on the morning line, and then do you think he's got a shot here?
I agree with the morning line. I think it's a good morning line on him. The post is tough. I've been jumping back and forth, actually. I think I'm going to use him underneath. I might use him on a deep ticket. I'm just worried that he's going to get caught behind a bunch of horses and have to change lanes 3 or 4 times late. And he's not, I don't think he'll get it done if he does that. But if the rail opens up for him or something, or if he just gets like clear in the 2 path late and he starts flying down the middle, he's the best closer of the bunch. So he's definitely going to be coming late. It just depends on how quickly he gets open to make his run.
Can he win the thing?
He can. I think he's going to need help to win, though.
Michael, where are you at on Mo Donegal? First off, is the morning line somewhat in the ballpark or not? And then does he have a shot? Where are you at on Mo Donegal?
Yeah, I think that's a good morning line. He might drift up a little bit, I think, maybe to like the 12-1, but he'll be in that range. I am a post position player. I think he's going to get shuffled back somewhere between 15th and 20th. And I don't think you can't win the Derby from that far back, at least with the way the point system weeds out sprinters now. And then 2, like I'm not going to even use him on my trifecta. Like I think he's going to be just way too far back. And I think there's like 4 or 5 other horses that are better than him just outright. And he's going to be that far back. It sucks. Pletcher has to deal with this back-to-back years, but like you look at what happened in Known Agenda last year, they had the same running style. He's going to be way far back, and to me, that just killed him. You need to have some kind of tactical speed to overcome that.
Yeah, and I feel like I agree that I had him. He was kind of on the fence of me putting him in all bets before, and then the one just kind of pulled him off of my radar completely. So I agree. I think we're kind of all in lockstep. Maybe you're throwing some tries and supers underneath a deep pick 5 ticket or something like that. Fine. Number 2, Happy Jack, and that's enough about Happy Jack. Can we just move on that? 30-1 should probably be about 75 to 80-1, and will be on race day, maybe 99-1.
Yes.
Vinny, anything on him, or should we just not waste our time?
Just disrespectful to some of the other 30-1s that they're also morning line 30-1 with Happy Jack.
Can he hit 5th place? I think I offered somebody in reality 50-1 odds to make the top 10.
Yeah,
and
I think
no takers.
Yeah, no, I he's my pick for dead last.
Michael, anything before I don't want to skip over, no disrespect, but yeah, Happy Jack.
Nope, nothing.
All right, now number 3, Epicenter, who is the second choice morning line. I guess that's 7-2 in my book, pretty reasonable morning line for him too. So far the morning line has with Mo Donegal and Epicenter been reasonable. Happy Jack should have been 75-1. But Epicenter, I think, has a real shot. The 3-hole, probably not the greatest pull for him, but I don't think it kills him either. Can he win? In my opinion, yes. Is he a must-play in all formats? Yes. Will I be betting him to win? No. And that's just strictly based on because I think he's going to go off somewhere between 3-4, maybe 9-2 at worst. But I think closer to 3-1, and I won't bet him that way. So, Vinny, Epicenter, where you at?
I don't love the post position. I really don't. I think it's going to I think this is going to go one of two ways. I think either he breaks very well and Joel takes him right to the lead or tries to, or he sits in the front of the second flight, like 2 or 3 lengths behind the leaders, and he tries to make the one big run going around as they turn for home. I don't love it. I wish he was more outside. That said, though, he might just be better than everybody, so he's probably going to end up on my ticket. But I'm not playing him to win either. He's not my top win contender.
Must play in all formats for you. Like if you're
I think you can. I think you can beat him. At his price, I think you have to, unless you're really sold on him, you have to try to beat him. I think, especially buried in at the 3. Yeah, the 3 post it's a little bit better than the 1 and 2, but statistically the 3 is not phenomenal. He might just be much the best. His numbers don't say that he is, so I do think you have to try to beat him here. Michael,
your thoughts on Epicenter?
Yeah, I agree with Finney's last statement. His numbers, his speed numbers, and I know they're not everything, but I think there's a few in here that are better than him. I'm not. And I have a horrible time of figuring out Asmussen, so this may come back to bite me. But with that 3-hole, like I think he needed to be like in the 6 to 12 range, and then I think he's usable up top. But he's got immediately to his right, Tomorrow is faster than him early. So is Messier. I think Crown Pride is probably faster than him early. And then a few more posts out from there. So is Taiba. So like he's got 4 or 5 horses that are faster than him for sure early. And so like I think he's gonna get stuck like around 8th to 10th. And then
or they're gonna press him hard.
Right.
Is there a scenario where you see them pressing him early to keep that from happening?
I think they could send him like Cox sent Mandaloon, but I think Epicenter was purposely rated in the Louisiana Derby because they know he's not as fast early as some of the other speed horses, and that if he just tries and guns it, I think Messier runs him into the ground. Taiba could definitely run him into the ground. Summers is Tomorrow is a sprinter. He can definitely run him. Like if he's up front running 46, 47, like he's not holding on. So with like,
so that's I think the biggest risk for him is that he does try to pin it and beat and keep the rail, and stay on top against those speed horses.
I think he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't is the issue.
Mm-hmm. He just needs to hold it to the first, and this is the thing. It's like, how push button really is he? Because if Rosario can get him out and hold the rail going into the first turn and then back off of him and still be able to ask him again, he might be fine. But there's very few horses that are push on, push off, and then you can push them back on. So like, there's a chance that if they try to hold that rail into the first turn so that he's in a good position, that he can't turn it back on after, and then Rosario's kind of stuck keeping him near, like right on the lead.
I also don't have faith in this jockey doing that. Like, like sometimes Rosario can be the world's greatest rider, and then sometimes you're like, give me a bug over him.
I would rather Rosario be on the outside. He's so good at coming from the outside. It's a very tough position for him. The draw did him no favors.
All right, let's go. Number 4, Summer is Tomorrow, morning line 30-1. And that's enough about Summer is Tomorrow. Just kidding, because I know you guys have more to say. 30-1, probably again, I think this is accurate, which I think there's other horses that should be way higher than 30-1. I don't know, dude. The UAE Derby horses confuse me, and he didn't even win that. I'm insta tossing him, Brooklyn bridging him almost. I'm not doing it. I know Vinny's got an argument for Summer is Tomorrow. Go ahead.
I think he's the fastest early horse. We kind of touched on that already. But 2, I don't think he's gonna quit. I think I don't think he can win, but I think he's a bomb that could hold on for a piece and finish 3rd or 4th. I get that everybody tosses the UAE Derby horses, but
I'm not even saying that's the right move.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
he ran Pinehurst into the bench. He outbroke him, and he's also I get he's a UAE Derby horse, but he's not a European bred. He's a Kentucky bred. Part of that, everybody's like, oh, the Europeans don't always break quick, and they kind of dismiss him. He's a Kentucky bred. He's gonna be he's shown he can break fine.
So you see him in the top 5, top 3 at best.
I think he can. I think if you're looking for one of these bombs to use, I can make a better case for him than I can some of these other 30-1 shots. Because at least,
Michael, where are you at on Summer is Tomorrow? Any shot?
I'm not using him at all. But like what Vinny just said, I wouldn't talk somebody off of the early speed in the Kentucky Derby and using him at all. So I'm not using him. It's some point you have to kind of draw a line in the sand, but I get because
that's where I'm at.
He's honestly probably going to be higher than 30-1, maybe not much, but he'll and if he hits 3rd or 4th, he's going to absolutely, and then Epicenter doesn't finish or gets stuck back or, whatever the case may be, you're going to blow up a trifecta or super. So I get why you would want to use them. I'm just I'm just not.
Same here, dude. And I wouldn't, like you said, any horse that goes to the front and has that type of speed, I don't think you can write off as a joke, especially compared to 4 or 5 others in this race. So I'm not going to tell anybody to back off of it either, but I just, like you said, the line in the sand, I have to. I mean, you can only take, what are you going to put 12 horses in a big 5? You can't. So anyway, let's move. Number 5, Smile Happy, which in my opinion was the big winner at the casino when it came to the post draw. I think that was perfect for him. I don't think he can win. 20-1. I think he's going to be bet down a little to that, maybe 14, 16-1, 12-1, maybe even, because I think he's one of the more recognizable names to the casual fan. And I think that's a good draw for him. I definitely think he has a shot at the board. Do not think he has a shot to win. I think this is a polarizing horse for a lot of people. I definitely saw people, you go into comments and trolling on comments on YouTube and social media, and you'll see people all over the board on Smile Happy, people with death threats and everything else about how great this horse is. And I was a big fan. He was number 1 on my contenders list for a while this prep season. So I like Smile Happy. I don't think he can win. Vinny, go.
I initially really liked this post draw, and I think he's got a shot, like you said, to hit the board. After really looking at this, I don't like it at all. He's in between He's in between Summer is Tomorrow and Messier. And if Messier breaks well, I know he didn't break well he broke kind of like a half step slow last time. But if Messier breaks well and Summer is Tomorrow breaks well, there's a horse that's just going to get pinched. And it's going to be my same argument I have for Cyberknife later on. He's going to get pinched, and he's going to be coming from, instead of being 3 or 4 lengths off the lead like he wants to be, he's going to be 9, 10 lengths off the lead. And we'll see how good he is. The one thing that Smile Happy is going for him is that all of his speed numbers suggest he's going to take a big step forward here. In my opinion, his thoroughgraph numbers say he's going to jump forward. He's paired up buyers his last couple. Like he looks like third start off the layoff. He's gonna jump up. But if he doesn't make it out of the starting gate, like that's it. So
Can he win? Yes or no?
no, I don't think he can win.
Michael, your take on Smile Happy. Go ahead.
Yeah, his the 5-hole is a great spot, but being in between the two horses, like Vinny said, that he's in between, is not helping him. I know he got a huge number on his last race, but like Zandon just blew right by him, and it wasn't like Zandon made him do the dirty work and then he blew by him. Like they were, he was sitting off chasing Emmanuel, who looks like he's just a miler, and then Zandon just blew right by him.
Yeah.
And I know he was chasing Epicenter in the Risen Star, and Epicenter was on the lead by himself, just kind of walking around. But like he made no progress to getting him. So like he can't win. I would not, and I like McPeak. I hope he gets one at some point, but like this is not his horse. He's going to take a little bit
every
of money.
year though.
Yeah, I think he's going to take a little bit of money. Like you said, he'll be in the 15-1 range. Run happy. People will see that. But I don't. Third at best, and I'm not even really in love with that either.
Good. I think we're all kind of in lockstep so far for the most part, other than Vinny's on Summers tomorrow. Let's go with 6, because I think things are going to get a little divided here. I'm a huge Messier fan. 8-1, somewhat realistic. He might drop down more like 6-1, but I think 6 to 8 to 9 to 1 is probably realistic for Messier, and I think he's better than what I think most people think he is. And I could be wrong because he just got hammered by Taba. And, I'm not an idiot. I watched the same race everybody else did. That horse beat him easily. And we can talk about Forbidden Kingdom and the ghost that he may have been chasing there. We'll get into all that another time. But I like Messier a lot, and I think the 6 is perfect for him. Probably right now, if he does go off in that 8-1 range, this is the horse I'm hammering the hardest at this point. Vinny, go.
I agree with you. I hate that I agree with you on it.
I hate it too.
I think he was the big winner. He was the big winner of the post draw. He doesn't need the lead. He can sit right off Summers tomorrow. And if there's a horse that's going to trip out here, it's him. And if you're going to give me, I honestly thought he was going to be 9-2. I thought he was going to be 9-2, 5-1 on the morning line. And they're telling.
And I don't think he's going to be in a post time.
I've seen some overseas books still have him in double digits. If you're going to give me double digits on this horse, like I'm playing him, and like I hate that I like him. He's the.
Do you think he's going to be? Do you think he's going to be better than 4th choice? I think he's definitely going to be 4th choice.
The way that the overseas odds right now, they have him at like, I think I saw somewhere they have him at like 12-1, and Mo Donegal is upwards of like 15-1. They're like,
I'll be selling my kids' clothes.
Right. I'm expecting 6-1, but if he for some reason isn't taking the money that he should, in my opinion, like he's gonna end up being my horse, and I hate that I like him, but I
know, dude. That if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, 12 weeks ago, and 1 week ago, if my choice was Messier, I would have said no. But right now, I am betting the shit out of him if he's 8-1 or anywhere near that. Michael, your take on Messier? Go.
So I stabled him up immediately and wrote down Bafford's best Derby horse. Obviously, he's with Yaffert or Yaktine or whatever, whoever's training him these days. But he is dangerous. I think he's probably going to Taib is going to take more money than him. He's going to be 4th choice, I think. And he's so dangerous. Like he can sit right behind Summers tomorrow and pounce on that turn. And we'll get to Classic Causeway later, but Classic Causeway and Summers tomorrow, I think, are going to run at each other. Messier is going to be right behind them, and then he can pounce into the stretch. He is so dangerous. I can't believe I thought this was a joke of a line. Now, obviously, it got skewed because of two other morning lines that were probably shit, in my opinion. But he is so dangerous in this race. I think he was chasing a sprinter, in my opinion. I know they said he has a medical issue, but I think he was chasing a sprinter, and Mike Smith just let him sit back and let him chase him, and then he pounced. And he's very deadly in this race. And if he wins, I will not be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was, dude. I thought I was taking a reach here with you two. I don't know. I think you two probably thought the same of me or each other, but we are all in lockstep so far, at least, that this is the horse to beat.
And
maybe not. I mean, if there's no such thing as odds, and it's just let's pick 1 out of 20, I still think I might take him, even though I think he's fourth choice.
He's been a must use in my one group I'm in, our group text. He's been a must use now for like 3 weeks, and I hate it. Like every day when we talk about it, we're like, we hate that we have to use him, but he is on every ticket.
I learned my lesson with Authentic.
Heartbreaker.
And I used Authentic in the Breeders' Cup Classic because I learned my lesson. Like, he's going to be up front early, and he can get 10 furlongs. Like, you're crazy if you don't use him.
Yep.
I agree. Let's go, because we're going to be here until sun up, sun down, sun up, depending on where you're at. Number 7, Crown Pride. And that's enough about Crown Pride.
No.
Just kidding. No, let's go. Morning line 20-1. Again, realistic. So as much as I'll butcher these morning lines, I think that's probably in the ballpark with him too. Crown Pride, UAE Derby champ. Again, I'm just fading because until they win something, I'm out. And I know this horse is special, and go ahead and throw the death threats in the comments. I'm not playing them in any format, and I could be wrong, and I wouldn't be surprised if I am. Vinny, go. Crown Pride.
He's training. He looks great at Churchill. I just, like you said, I don't know how good he is, because if he's that good, then you have to use Summers tomorrow, in my opinion. If he's just that good,
right? I mean,
but I don't know how you like. He's a tough one. He's a tough one because he does have tactical speed. He's gonna try to sit mid-pack. He's gonna probably be mid-pack. He's gonna try to make one big run. He's been looking great over the grounds. He's just a horse that has a ton of energy. I think he's only got 1 career loss, and it was just like a complete no-show effort. But
let me be the one to say it too once, because I think everybody else has said it. I'm going to say it. The Japanese horses have been hot this year.
Yeah,
that's kind of a sarcastic, smart-ass remark, but I mean that's the truth.
And my feeling on him though is like if you want to use him like in like a pick 4 or pick 5 or something, okay, this horse is going to be demolished underneath in exactas, tries, and supers. And I get the super, yes, use him. This Derby super always plays great. But even if he goes off 20-1, I think Mike Samich said this, he's going to be like half of that in the tries and exactas. Like, people are just going to love to use this horse underneath. So in my opinion, this is a horse you just use, like, you key him on top if you like him and hope that he wins for some of your tickets, and otherwise just hope that he's not as good and finishes like 5th, 6th, 7th, and you try to beat him.
Michael, go. Crown Pride.
Make this as quick as possible. I have 2 opinions on this. He either finishes 5th, skips the Preakness, and I 100% certainty believe this, he romps in the Belmont. That horse wants to run forever, in my opinion. I also think he can win this race. I know UAE Derby horses do not do well in this at all, but those are American horses flying to the Middle East and flying back home. This is a Japanese horse who they are on fire right now, have reversed engineered horse racing and are on absolute fire. And like, I'm using him in my pick 4 and pick 5 on top and he will probably I will probably have a win ticket on him because
You think the 20-1s?
I think he's still going to be 20-1.
I do too. Vinny, you think 21's realistic on him?
I do. I just think he's going to be pounded and people are going to love. This is going to be the horse that people
you can't leave him out of a key. Yeah.
People are just going to if he comes in second, say to if he comes in second to Zandon, I feel like people will be like, oh, that exacta came back soft. And it's yeah, it came back soft because everybody in the world used this horse underneath.
Yeah,
so
anybody who had a 4 and 5.
I think you'll get the value on top though. Still, I think it's the underneath part that is you might not get the value. But yeah, I would love if he wins. He's on my fantasy team.
Fade City for me to close that out. But I mean, I openly admit I know nothing about him, and you guys could be more than correct. Number 8, Charge It, 20-1. Morning line. I feel like this horse is going to be bet down a little bit too. Probably 15-1. 14, 16, I don't know. But I feel like this is another dangerous horse. 8-hole, good for him. I like Charge It, I think, more than most people do as well. But dude, we're now 8 in, and we have 2 or 3 throwaways so far, if that, and not even 2 or 3, 1 or 2 throwaways, and every horse has kind of got a shot here. That's what makes this really fun this year. I like Charge It a lot. Vinny, where are you at on Charge It, the 8-horse post position and morning line?
I think he's going to get bet down. I think we're looking more of 14, 15-1 range. I loved him all year. I don't love him here. The 8 post is a great draw. I think this is Pletcher's Belmont horse. I'm expecting him to be another one that runs between 4th and 7th. And then wheeled back in the Belmont, and I think that's where he wants to go. He's got those big long strides late, but it takes him a little bit. He's a little quirky, and it takes him a bit to get into stride. He wants to go farther. He reminds me of Taprit from a few years ago. That's the Pletcher horse he's reminded me of all year. The big colt just needs to find his lane, and I don't think this is the spot. I think he's going to be too far. I think he's going to be too far back and do too little too late.
Michael, Charge It. Where are you at?
Yeah, I agree with Vinny on that. I'm also not a fan of him not running as a 2-year-old. I know it is what it is. He runs when he's mature enough. But I think there's a strike against Taiba, and there's definitely a strike against him. He's shown that he's more immature, at least from that standpoint. It was a little green. Him and White Abario, and I know Gulfstream has their problems running a stopwatch for whatever stupid reason, but they did not finish very fast. And I'm not a huge White Abario fan, and he kind of, beat Charge It pretty handily. So maybe 3rd or 4th because of his post position. And also considering he's only got 3 races under him, right? He should continue progressing, but
that's what I thought. My take on him was that he hasn't run anything near his best yet. So that's why I think he's live. But
yeah, so
it's whether you believe in White Abario or not. If you're not a White Abario believer, then you can't be a Charge It believer. That's kind of my opinion.
I think you can. I just think I think Charge It's going to need a. I don't think he's as quick early as a lot of people think he is. And I think his past performances are slightly misleading in that aspect, where he has been a little bit closer to paces. I don't really think that's where he wants to be. I think he's a horse that wants to drop back, and because the fields he's been in, he's been a little closer because he outclasses horses. I think he's going to be 8-9 lengths off the lead early, and he could prove me wrong and win. I just feel like you said, you have to draw a line somewhere, and he's a line that I'm looking forward to him in the Belmont personally.
I agree.
Let's move. Number 9, Tiz the Bomb. And that's enough about Tiz the Bomb, because this is last time I checked, the Kentucky Derby is on dirt. And Tiz the Bomb is a turf horse. Everybody on the planet knows that. I know there's serial killers out there with death threats about Tiz the Bomb's going to win this thing. And, good if you get this, because I think 30-1 again fairly reasonable. Might be bet down a little bit. Name familiarity. I don't know. He's not going to be on any of my tickets in any format. Vinny, go.
He's not. I'm not a fan of him, but if he's really going to be 30-1, I thought this was one of the worst lines outside of Taba's line. I think it's an absolutely horrendous line on him. I thought he was going to be in like the 15-1 range.
Really?
I mean, if you're going to give me 30-1, I'll use him on tickets just because of that. I've been trash talking him all year, and I don't think I personally don't think he's that good. But by the off chance that he just didn't like Gulfstream, because some horses just don't like Gulfstream, and he actually takes to the Churchill dirt, his numbers match up with pretty much everybody's. I mean, he outside of that effort, like, he's right there, and he's a classy horse. You know, he's already got over $1 million in earnings. I would not, like, if you're going to give me 30-1 on him, yeah, I'm not going to play him to win, but I'll use him for third or like second and third and exactas and tries, because there's no reason this horse should be 30-1.
Michael,
nothing to do with this horse. I want to have nothing to do with this horse. He got 7th by 20th length. I don't care if horses don't like Gulfstream or whatever crazy stuff Vinny's talking about right now. He's not a dirt horse. They had to send him to Turfway so that he could qualify.
Yes, thank you. If that's not the telltale sign, right?
Nothing to do with this horse.
If there would have been a qualifier in Guam to get him 7 Derby points to put him over the top, they would have flown him to Guam and ran against my golden retriever in a freaking race.
I'm just saying, if you're giving me 30-1 on him and 30-1 on Happy, no, I'm just saying, if like at a 30, should he really be 30-1 here when you have a horse like Happy Jack who's also 30-1?
Happy Jack should be 80-1. I already said that.
That's what I mean. Like, if you're really going to give me, like, I feel like at 20-1, I would have been like, all right, probably not. If he actually goes off at like 30-1, I'm going to throw him on the bottom of a try just because.
Side note, at me on Twitter, I will take a 30-1 bet on Tiz the Bomb from anybody in any amount. I got backers. Junior Mafia. Let's go. Number 10, we're going to keep moving. Zandon, however you want to pronounce it. That's a bluegrass winner, 3-1. Wild that he's the morning line favorite. I kind of understand it, but I kind of don't. I love the 10 hole for Zandon. I think he can win for sure. I think he's a must play in all formats. I am not betting him at 3-1. I think he's probably going to be 4 or 5-1. Vinny?
Yeah, I'm hoping he drifts up a little bit. He looks very good. He's going to be wide, though. That's my one. He's got some tactical speed, but not a lot. He's kind of like Mo Donegal in that aspect, where he doesn't have a ton of tactical speed. He's just going to be caught wide. He's going to have to be much the best, in my opinion, even with the 10 draw. It's a more favorable draw, but at 3-1, it's like, I hate that. I thought he was going to be 5-6-1.
Michael, go. Zandon.
Yeah, he should probably be 5-1. I'm very interested what the Will Pays and the Oaks Derby double looks like, because that'll give us an idea where he will actually be. I think he should probably be 5-1. I love his post draw. Right to his outside, he's got speed, and they should be able to clear him without any issue unless they bump into each other and knock him out. He's got no speed to his left, both those horses. So like, he should be able to like tactically get in like 5 to 6 lengths off. I hate that running style for the Derby. And I like this horse. I tweeted out the morning of the post draw about him, and then he like is 3-1. Like, you can't bet. You can't bet him to win. I love Chad Brown.
Are you being skewed by the morning line? I think a lot of people are going to, and I'm not mad at you if you are, because that 3-1, if that said 6-1 right there, you'd be I think we'd all be looking at him a little different, because I think that dude, yes. I like Zandon, but at 3-1 this morning line, that looks disgusting to me.
Yeah. And my other issue too is like, the Bluegrass winner
Never
does
wins.
all right, but like Essential Quality didn't win last year, and I think Essential Quality is probably a better horse than he is. And so I just have I'm going to use him in every possible scenario.
Yeah, me too.
You have to use him. He is a very good horse. This crop is not great. But like,
I don't think
not
anybody's going to be
swallow-
surprised if he wins either.
Yeah,
but
I won't be surprised, but like I can't swallow 3-1 on a win bet. But
Me
like,
neither.
I don't think he's going to play 3-1 in multis. So he's definitely a must use for me on pretty much everything.
That's my feeling too. Like he's a must use, but yeah, that price is definitely tough to swallow.
All right, let's go to the second half of the field here. Number 11, Pioneer of Medina. And that's enough about Pioneer of Medina. Vinny, 3-1. I don't have any.
He's not bad, but he's not great.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a
Like,
one.
I mean,
He's a one. He's a
nobody
one.
in this race is bad, guy.
No,
I mean, they
but he's a one. But
he's
he's a one-paced horse. I think he is a horse though that towards the end of this year, I think going into his 4-year-old year, if they keep running him, is going to end up being a horse that like a lot of people are like, oh, where did these efforts come from? Because once he gets a little more mature, I think he's going to be a very dangerous horse. I just don't think this is his time.
Is he going 50-1 here?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe between 30 and 40, I think is reasonable. I don't think he should be 50. He might, but I don't personally. I think somewhere between 30 and 40 is right for him.
Michael, anything on Pioneer? I like this horse because he won me a bunch of money in that allowance race, like 2 or 3 races back. So, like, I have no problem with this horse at all. He's not winning this race. I think he'll be 35-ish to 1, somewhere in that range. But he's not winning this race. I also wonder if he ends up on turf at some point, given his sire. But he's a nice horse. You would love to own him, but he's not winning this race.
You're tossing him. All right. So let's go to number 12, probably the most polarizing figure on the board. At least I think for me, it's an insta toss for me. I'm out. I mean, I fully understand he's probably second or third choice, maybe even top choice by the time post time happens. I just am not betting this horse he's not throwing 127 buyers out, this is not the greatest horse of all time. This is not Justify. And you know what? We'll play this. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to screenshot myself saying that, of what an asshole I look like for saying that. I will do it. I promise you. But I just don't think he's Justify, and I don't think he's even close. And I think he's good. I think he's on par with like maybe 3 or 4 of these other horses, and he could win for sure. If he goes off anywhere under 5-1 or 6-1, no thank you. Vinny, go.
The line on him is absolutely terrible.
That's a joke. Yeah, that's a given. I hate the horse in a 12-1 is ridiculous to me.
Like if you're gonna give me 12-1, I will play.
Me too.
I'll play him and hope.
I'll give you a mortgage payment.
Right, like I'll play him and hope he doesn't Justify. That said,
yeah, me too, dude.
I don't know.
12-1, I'm putting a mortgage payment on him if he's 12-1.
That said, sure. I have a very odd take on him that a lot of people have already disagreed with me with, but I think he is going to be. I think Smith is going to park this horse like 4 or 5 wide the entire way around and keep him out of trouble and hope that he is just better. And I think because he is going to do that, every horse breaking from his outside is basically screwed. I want no part of any of these horses outside of the 12 hole for this race because I think Smith is going to break. He's going to be able to probably stick with Pioneer and Medina, maybe go a little faster early and get this horse in maybe right behind that first flight. And he's going to keep him parked 5-6 wide because he's not going to let this horse take dirt. He took him 4 wide all the way around the track in a 5-horse race from the Santa Anita Derby. There's no way he's going to let this horse take dirt. He's just going to make everybody either go inside of him or go very wide outside of him. And for that reason, since I know he's not going to take any dirt, I have to use him because usually the cleanest horse wins the Derby. And Smith is if this horse crosses the wire, Mike Smith isn't going to have a speck of dirt on his glasses.
All right, so I'm insta tossing him. Vinny's all formats playing him. Michael, be the tiebreaker. Where you at?
I'm going to use him reluctantly. Like, I don't think he's justified, but I'm not willing to bet my money that he's not justified.
Right.
So,
I'm kind of in the same boat, I'll be honest.
I agree with Vinny. I think he's going to be stuck.
I'm not convinced either, but at 3-1, I am convinced.
Right. I think he's going to be wide the entire time. That doesn't bode well. You can ask Essential Quality that. You can ask Tiz the Law that. Just parked a couple lengths off and wide the entire time. That does not win you the Derby. But also, if somebody takes hold of Mike Smith's body and he decides to gun it, I think he proved in his maiden that he can run fast early. And so if whoever's in charge tells Mike Smith to just send, like Mandaloon, I know he's the declared winner, but like he almost beat Medina Spirit. Like if you just send in the Derby, you can do some damage. So like, I don't know what Mike Smith's going to do. He was like 4 wide in the Santa Anita Derby, and there was only 4 horses in it, or 5, or however many. Like, so I agree with he might be wide. Right. He might be wide the entire time, but like he also
might win while being wide.
Yeah. And I know what I gave Messier an excuse, but like I've had to give Messier 2 excuses now. Los Alamitos, he was, I don't know what happened. And then the Santa Anita Derby, he didn't break well. He was chasing a sprinter. Like maybe he's just, he blew by Messier. So like
he killed him.
Yeah. So it's hard not to use
black and white information. He blew by him.
Right. So easily. I'm using him. Like feel free to DM me, whoever. I have a single in the turf race that I love. So like going 4 or 5 deep in this race is not going to kill my pocketbook. So
single in the turf race. You're a monster.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
That's a wild proposition. Number 13, let's go. Simplification. I love him. 20-1. As a bomb, I love him. I'm guessing he's going to stick near 20-1. I think that's fairly reasonable. I know he's going to be about this. There is a mess of horses. Charge It, Crown Pride, Smile Hap. There's several that are in this same category of somewhere between 12 and 20-1. Somewhere, I don't know. He might even be 25-1. I don't know. But I like him. At that price, I like him way more than I like Epicenter at 3-1 or Zandon at 3-1. So that's the way I'm going to put it. Is he going to win? Probably not, but he's probably going to win at a rate of 30-1 more often than Zandon's going to win at 3-1, if that makes sense to anybody. I like him like a win play show bet. I really like him a lot. I think he's unlikely to win, but if you're looking at 20-1 territory and up, probably the best bet on the board. Go ahead, Vinny. Where are you at on simplification at 13?
I'm gonna use him underneath, and that's it. I would love if he won. I think he's gonna drift up though. I think you're gonna get closer to 30-1 on him. I don't think he's gonna take a ton of money. I really don't.
Somebody's gonna drift up, right? I mean,
I think he's right. I think he's gonna drift. I think he's gonna drift up. He finished 3rd behind 2 of the others in here last time out. He's trained by Sano. Sano's I think he's only ever had one other Derby runner who finished 3rd, I believe. I think Gunnevera finished 3rd or 4th. So I mean, I think he's gonna run well. I think he's gonna run his race, and he's very versatile, and that's why I've liked him all year. I don't think he's a win contender though. I think he would need to have a lot of other horses not run an A race, and he would need to run his best career race to win here. So
Michael, simplification, go.
He's going to drift up. I'm not going to use him, but if he got like 3rd or 4th, I would not be shocked. He's definitely not winning in my book. He got beat by White Abario handily twice. And I'm not a White Abario fan. but he could trip out. 13's a good post. Like he's got speed to his left, so like he's not gonna have to worry about them. Barber Road is a donkey. So I'm not using him, but like if he got third, I wouldn't be like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
All right, so we're going to speed this thing up because I think several of these last few are non-consequential. And you just talked about a donkey at number 14, Barber Road, 30-1 morning line. Another one that should be 50 or 60 or 80-1. Vinny, that's enough about Barber Road for me. I think he's a good horse. He's a good horse in the prep races. You put him out here with this group, no shot. Throw him in a super if you need to go 8 deep in a super key box or something, fine. Otherwise, no thanks. Vinny, go.
No, I'm
I already know what Michael thinks.
Yeah, I'm tossing him. I don't even think you're gonna get. I mean, the super pays no matter what in the Derby, but this horse is gonna be 50-1 plus probably, and you're gonna get half of that value in underneath because everybody's gonna see the same thing. Oh, he always comes in second.
Yep, he's
been running second against bad horses in my opinion. So I want no part of him.
Okay, let's go. We're gonna move. Number 15, Way to Barrio. I love him. I absolutely love him, and I know you guys hate him, which makes it even better because at 10-1, I think he's gonna drift closer to 15-1. This, like, to me, if you have $100 burning a hole in your pocket and that's all you have in your life savings, $30 across the board or something like that, because I'm not necessarily sure that I love him to win, but I think he is playable on the board, and I think he's going to pay all the way down too because he's at the bottom end of the favorites or the top end of that mid-range 4 or 5 horses that are all going to get paid. I like him a lot. That horse seems to run a little bit better than his numbers every time. Vinny's favorite, Saffy Joe. Tyler has been here a bunch now, and he's ready to win. It's time. I'm going. It's Messier and it's Way to Barrio for me. Those are my 2 horses, gun to my head for wins. That's what I'm doing. I like them. Nobody's talking me off of them. Go ahead, Vinny. I know you hate them.
I'm not even gonna use Saffy as the reason this time. I hate his post. I think he drew
it's a bad
poorly.
post.
It's an awful post.
He doesn't need to be super close to me, though.
My issue with him is that he wants to be like 2 or 3 lengths off the lead, and from where he is at the 15 post, he is going to be 10 or 11 lengths back, and we'll find out how good he is. And if 10 to 15-1 is worth it to find out how good he is, sure. I think we're Classic Causeway having the send, and he is going to just immediately break right in. He's just in a terrible spot, and I know he's got a donkey on his inside in Barber Road, so that might help him a bit. But I think he's another victim of getting pinched early because Simplification has speed, and he's like Simplification's faster than him early. I just think he's going to be a victim of being pinched, and he's going to be 9-10 lengths back, and we're going to see how good he is. So at that price, I can't use him.
Michael, any of your money going on Way to Barrio?
No, I think I might use him in the trifecta. The Florida Derby winner, like that's hard to discount, although they didn't close fast. Although I'm also not really sure how, like he won pretty handily, so I'm not really sure how
he wasn't pressed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how hard he was. Yeah, I'm not sure how hard he was being pushed, but I think the issue is his post. Like you have to be authentic fast to get out there, and he's going to be wide. And like, I think there are better, like he doesn't want to be a closer, and he's going to be very muddy because it's probably going to be raining for the next week in Kentucky. He's going to be muddy. He's going to be wide. That's not how you win the Derby. I don't want to, I want to have nothing to do with him up top. I don't even think he can get second because of his post. But I think I would like him. And I'm going to probably keep him on my trifecta ticket in third.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he necessarily wins here either. But if you do a win play show bet on him, I think even if he's third, you get paid.
I agree because he's not going to be 10-1.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's going to drift up. Everybody's going to forget him.
Yeah, I'm also
because maybe halfway based on the 15 hole, but I don't know. I don't see him embarrassing himself and getting. He's done nothing wrong all year. Cyberknife number 16. This is a horse that was killed by the post draw, in my opinion. I loved him pre-post draw. This is another horse that if he's sitting at 5, 6, 9, somewhere in that 5 to 12 range, I would be all about it. He's too wide for me now. I think he is I think he goes from a win bet for me to I'm not putting a penny on him anywhere. So if I'm a non-post position guy, but you cannot have a horse like this far wide. It's too much work. There's too many things that can go wrong. He's going to be 5 wide, and I don't think he's that good. If he gets the ideal trip, I thought he could have won. I don't like him now. Vinny, go.
I think he's a donkey. I think he's a grade three horse at best.
Oh,
Your Oklahoma Derby winner. I don't think.
Look at this guy. I like it.
The Arkansas.
Hey, if you're going to be an asshole, be an asshole.
The Arkansas Derby, the Arkansas circuit this year produced nothing. And if it wasn't for a very questionable ride on Secret Oath, we wouldn't even be having this conversation that he's a win contender. He got gifted a grade 1 because of a terrible ride by a jockey that shouldn't have been on a good horse. So if he wins, if any of these Arkansas Derby horses hit the board, like, so be it. Like, I can't touch him at any price.
Even if it was an ideal draw for him?
I think it was the worst. I think that was the worst prep circuit, and I would put Turfway above it, personally. I would take the Turfway horses over. I would play.
Hey, dude, like I said, if you're going to be a prick, be a prick, baby. I would much rather take Tawny Port and Tis the Bomb over using Cyberknife and Barber Road here. Ooh. All right. Michael?
I was a little interested in him, although I think Zozo's is actually better than him. I was interested in both of them underneath until their draws. Like 16 out, I don't want to have anything to do with any of those horses.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, like that didn't help him at all. He's going to be super wide. He's just not, and he's a good horse. He's not a great horse. And
I feel the same. I never thought he was going to be like a world beater. I just thought, throw him in the 5 hole. Maybe he does some damage up there. I don't know, but you're right. He's done now. There's no chance. I'm not even putting a penny on him. Not even underneath. Not even super.
Yeah.
With that said, I think we've all said outside of, Vinny, I think said outside of 13, no chance. I'm saying outside of 15 because I do like Wade Barrio still. 17 Classic Causeway. Thanks for coming. No thanks. 30 to 1. You could give me 300 to 1 on that horse. I won't bet him. He had a sexy first half of the prep season. Congrats. I don't know what's going on. They pull him out. Now they pull him back in. I don't care. Don't know. 17 holes, a death sentence for him anyway. Oh, he's going to change the pace. He's going to run across the whole pack. Anybody on the inside of him is in trouble, blah, 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 blah. I don't even expect him to lead. I'll say it. Everybody's expecting him. He's going to break out of the gate. He's going to he's going to go to the fence, and he's going to take everybody out in his way. I don't even know, dude. That's best case scenario is that he disrupts other horses. That's a donkey to me. Thank you. Vinny, go. 17 Classic Causeway.
This seems like this smells like the connections wanted a Derby horse and are going against the trainer. He's gonna try to break like a rocket. Okay. If he is still involved after 3 quarters, I would be shocked. He's not good enough. He's shown he's not good enough, and
he wasn't really good enough, and then they pull him back in at the last minute. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it seems like the owners were like, "Hey, we want to run him in the Derby," and it's not an ideal scenario.
Michael, anything? No,
if you're like a Zandon fan, I guess you're happy he's in here because he'll mess with the pace a little bit, but like he's gonna have trouble clearing.
That's what I'm saying. The best case scenario, he clears some people.
Right. So he'll mess, maybe they run like 46 or something. But he's not winning. He's not even going to be on a ticket. Like I want nothing to do with this horse. I mean, he got a brakes blown off in the Florida Derby, so
not even on a ticket. You said it best right there. Number 18, Tawny Port, and that's enough about Tawny Port. Vinny, anything?
I liked him a little bit before the post draw. I think he's another one. Like, I think you'll see him in like the West Virginia Derby, and he'll be a threat later this year. I want nothing to do with him at the 18
The Guam
post.
Derby.
Yeah, he's not he's not today.
Maybe like Charlestown or something, but no.
The Parks Derby. All right, we'll move. Zozos, the 19, and that's enough about Zozos. Anybody disagree, Vinny?
I actually think he could end up getting underneath from the 19 post just because he has speed and Classic Causeway. Classic Causeway is going, like, if Classic Causeway breaks, he's immediately going to just bolt over towards the rail. I think Zozos is quick enough to immediately follow that move, and I think they are going to take out a bunch of horses. So if he can, like a Stupid Sandwich did it last year. I know we finished bad, but that's what Soup and Sandwich did last year. He broke and he just moved
From
over.
the 19.
And like I don't think he's good enough to win. I haven't thought he's good enough to win. But I think at 20, 25 to 1, if he drifts up a bit, he's a horse I don't think a lot of people are going to include under trifectas and exactas and stuff because of where his post is. But the trip that I can see for him, I think he could actually steal a piece.
I'll give you 80 to 1 on that thing. Michael, you? Anything on
Zozos? Nothing. I think he's better than. I think he's Cox's best 3-year-old probably right now. Not that that's saying much, but
yeah, not good in this one though.
I wanted nothing to do with him. Like I don't think he's fast enough, like even to try and chase Classic Causeway because there's still a handful to his left besides Classic Causeway that he's probably not faster than. And what prep did he go to?
The Louisiana Derby.
Yeah, I don't want him. Nothing. I'm not touching him at all.
And let's close it out because all the action was up front. Ethereal Road in the 20 hole, and that's enough about Ethereal Road. I mean, I guess congrats to the Connections for being here. That's a big step. The horse is 30 to 1 on the morning line. He's going to be 1,030 to 1 on post time, and I still wouldn't bet him. Might get 8 on his best day. Vinny, go ahead. Get any thoughts on Ethereal Road?
This is the example of Connections having Derby fever. I mean, they just did everything they could to get this horse in the Derby. He nearly wins the Rebel against a bad group, and he coughs it up. And then they send him to the Bluegrass because
that was crazy.
Because we're afraid of Secret Oath. He runs awful, and then we're gonna wheel him back in the Lexington, and he runs awful. And then he backs his way.
When I saw him in the Bluegrass, I went to the Bluegrass. When I saw him in the lineup, I was like, "Didn't he just run like 3 days ago?" Is what it felt like.
I was just like when they said they were gonna run him here, I'm like, like I get Lucas is getting up there in age, and he's probably on his last few chances at a Derby runner. But come on, this poor horse. He's not good enough. He's just not good enough. And then you stick him in post 20, he honestly could finish dead last because they just break him out of the gate, and after they pass the grandstands for the first time, they just ease him. He really might just drop out. So
you know what they should do right before the race? Maybe they bring out some circus clowns and juggle around the horse and do some parlor tricks and make it into a show for the kids. I don't know. I think that's what they're doing there. Michael, any rebuttal on Ethereal Road, or are you in agreement?
No, yeah. His owners are probably happy to get free 18 seats, but that I don't want.
That's what I'm saying though, dude. And I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute. If I have a horse that's qualified for the Derby, I'm going.
Right. Yeah.
Let's go have some drinks and have a good time. And Ethereal Road's going to get 20th by 50 lengths, but we're there, right? So,
right.
Put your fancy hats on. Anything else to close it out?
At the same time, though, do you really want to do that and just run your poor horse to death here when you could save him? And
Is
there's
it my
some big
first
ways-
time with the opportunity? Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like you said,
Come on,
I don't own a horse, but yeah, this is just like yuck. Yeah, I just
It's not good. Gentlemen, thanks for joining. We're doing this. We are now just a few days away. Good luck to everybody. I think hopefully you can take something away from this. I mean, it is pretty wide open. So good luck to everybody. Vinny, Michael, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
you.
All right. Peace out. Good luck, everyone.